Plus, it'll probably take me about 4 years to get that platinum trophy, as like I said, the hard curve is steep. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a big game, and I'm going to start this video by saying I enjoyed 99% of this game. I was pretty sure that from day one I was going to go for the platinum, and yep, that's what I did. I'll also start by saying I'm not going to talk about the story, but there will be visuals on screen like boss fights or post-game arena missions. I'm also not going to go through each individual trophy, as some are story related or require so little work that I wouldn't really have anything to say except yeah, you gotta complete that fight, that one battle. Yeah. Like I said, this is a big game, and it took me about 150 hours, well, to get my review ready. Check out that review. See it? Yeah, that one, yeah. I didn't rush the story, and I tried to do as many of the side quests before completing on my first playthrough. Okay, let's talk side quests. Most of the side quests aren't difficult or super involved. A few require you to craft items, which you might have to go out of your way to find certain materials, but again, it's not too much of an issue. There is another side quest that requires you to do all of the chocobo races, which you need to do for another trophy anyway, so I guess it's just 2 birds, 1 Johnny. Can we say that on YouTube? Yeah, 2 birds, 1 Johnny. The hardest side quest to unlock is probably the last, and it's for one reason only, just to make your life a living hell. As part of it involves arena battles, and for whatever reason someone up there decided that you have to fight 10 Tonbrees in one fight. This was the least fun I had up to this point. More side quest fun involves activating beacons, fighting special monsters, timing memory minigames, the Moogle minigames that I thought were really cool. So there's a bit more to unlocking all of the fast travel points than just hitting the button on the towers, the beacons, the beacon towers, tower beacons. I would say that the main highlights of the area exploration are the Proto relics. The photo relics, the Proto relics, Is that a word? Is that a real word? These vary from area to area and are basically mini side quests. One of my least favourite was Fort Condor. If you haven't done that yet, enjoy. After getting all of the Proto relics, you unlock the super boss. Now blah blah blah, I'm just going to make words up here just in case you want to skip past this, what I say, because it's a bit of a spoiler. Okay, so if you haven't fast forwarded, Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is a funny guy and I think sounds a bit like Optimus Prime.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Anyway, before fighting him, you have to do double summon fights, which I found very daunting. You have to fight 2 summons at once. But once I started, it didn't actually take me too long. Then we move on to Gilgamesh. I got the 300% stagger trophy with Tifa just by spamming the Unbridled Strength and the Omni Strike. After this, I got all material from Chadley to get another trophy. I'll next take a bit of time just to talk about the minigames that I haven't discussed already. Queen's Blood. Genuinely, why do games keep putting card game minigames in their big games? And why do they take up so much of my time without even realising it? Well, the short answer is because they are super fun. Starting Queen's Blood was fine, but became a bit of a head scratcher when you progress to the intermediate levels, but by the harder difficulties you do find your own groove, and if not, there must be how-to videos of Queen's Blood online that of course I never looked at. Now, when I found out that there was a piano rhythm game, I was over the moon, as I thoroughly enjoy rhythm games, but I'm a little embarrassed that I really struggled with the later songs. And don't lie, you did as well. What I did was I had to get my wife to control the left analog stick while I controlled the right, but then bosh, trophy achieved. Then I was on to completing the 3D brawler. What a cheating piece of crap. You have to dodge the right way based on an animation. The issue for me is that the animations were too similar. So I found out the best way to tackle this, and if you haven't clocked onto it either, your best friend will be the pause screen. Slow the animation down, trophy achieved, eventually. We also have the bike minigame, which I don't really have any strong feelings about, but it's there, and you have to do it for the collections trophy. More to follow on that. After this, I beat the game for the first time. We've all seen the ending, right? Oh God, no. There is still a long way to go. On to the Desert Rush minigame to get the last weapon for Tifa, and the only weapon I was missing. I don't like this minigame. I didn't like it when I first did it, and I don't like it now. After this, I got to work on unlocking each weapon skill whilst going through the arena challenges in the Gold Saucer. After doing this, I decided to try to complete the collections quest for Johnny. No relation, of course. First, I bought the remaining few items from the Gold Saucer. After that, I did a ton of minigames, so I'll rifle through them now, just to get them out of the way. The Grassland Chocobo Time Trials. The Glide the Chocobo. There's a frog wipeout game. There's a shooting gallery. The Dolphin Time Trial. The Fort Condor Hard Mode. The Card Carnival Challenges. The Red 13 Football. It's football, I'll say nothing else. Sit-ups. Challenge. I mean, half pressing the trigger? What the hell is that? Then we've got the Gold Saucer Card Challenges, and these were fine until Survivor Mode. Then you've got the Desert Rush Hard Mode, Gears and Gambits, and the Cactuar Crush. Overall, not too bad. After this, I did the Buried Chocobo items. Then I was on to Chapter Hopping, cleaning up any items that I might have missed. Anyway, minor spoilers, but not plot related. So, I went and redid the Loveless Play. Then I redid the gun spinning coronation thingy because I didn't get the trophy the first time. What are you going to do? I also unlocked all the purple nodes on the weapons upgrade screen for the weapon ability trophy as well. After all that, it was finally time to start. Hard mode content. I decided to start with the Chadley missions, which may have been a mistake. But justice for Chadley, as he doesn't deserve all the hate he gets. Pretty early on, I hit level 70, which is max level for this game, which is good, because I didn't have to go out of my way to do any grinding for it. The first 3 brutal challenges I managed to complete relatively easy, but for the remaining, I just couldn't complete. So I did a little grinding on the Gongaga Loop, which is one of the best songs in the game, as I wanted to get the magic focus and swift cast etc. to the highest levels. Who knew that Aerith was one of the best characters? If it's not clear at this point, I was looking at strategy guides. But trust me, even having a proven strategy doesn't make it easy, and you still need to slog through them. But do let me know if you think I'm a filthy cheater. But please, context matters, as my wife does read these comments. The final brutal challenge. Now, I had heard from friends also trying to platinum the game that this was gonna be tough. Thankfully, luck was a bit on my side, and I did it on my first attempt. I did use a guide for the brutal and legendary challenges, which I found very straightforward and helpful. If you're struggling and you need a guide, Optinoob, I love you. Then onto the legendary bouts. These are all solo bouts, plus a few special guests. I decided to go backwards. I started with Kate Sith, and I didn't really struggle, as due to the previous brutal challenge, we had the Gottadamerong, which starts you with a limit break and slowly refills over time, so you can just stall if you need to. I went with the strategy I use in real life when getting into fights. Just run away and throw things from afar. Yuffie! Love Yuffie, and as long as you link fire to damage, you should sail through. Red 13. I'm not a big fan of Red 13. I mean, he's not bad, but out of all the characters to use, he's probably in my bottom 2. But Red is fast, and enemies are slow. Not too bad. Aerith. My darling Aerith. She is very good with the Arcane Ward. Lightning Link to Elemental is your friend. Tifa, my other darling. One of my other faves to use. My only issue was trying to work out how to fight the goblin. Once you worked it out, bish bash bosh, done. Barrett, who is also one of my favourites, but solo, just annoying. Slow mobility, but fire link to an elemental defence and a lucky early pressured focus shot led to my progression. It's fine, you'll work it out. Last of the solo battles, Mr. Strife. Overall not bad, and I'm not being racist, but the White Wolf can bugger off. Probably my worst enemy in the game, it's just annoying. The Iron Giant, what do they say in Dodgeball? Dodge, duck, dip, dive and dodge. You'll be fine. With that down, we were on to the final 2 missions. These do have special party members, and if you don't want to see them, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I knew you wouldn't leave. Let's start with To Be a Hero. Cloud is partnered with Sephiroth, or how I used to pronounce it as a kid, Sephiroth, which I do think sounds a bit better. Sephiroth. You battle through 10 difficult summons and enemies, and was a chore, but Seph is great. Sephiroth is great. Once completed, there was only one left. And spoilers, Zack Fair. Why is Zack not great? I mean, I love Zack. He should be good. Even my successful ones just took ages to work through. Hard mode, no items, no magic recoup, and you just get quite drained by the end. In game and in real life. Genuinely, it took me months to complete this. This is why this video is coming out so much later. It's taken me 5 months of back and forth, turning it off, turning it back on, turning it back off, turning it back on, trying it, forgetting how to play the game. Optinoob, again, great guys, fantastic videos. And for those watching, just grind your way through and eventually you'll get a bit of luck, catch a break. But suffice to say, Odin, you are not invited to my birthday parties for a while. The day came. I had beaten every one of Chadley's missions. He gave me a trophy, and then Johnny did as well. Then, the final trophy was to beat all the game chapters on hard mode. I'll say where the trip-ups were, but not the context, as ruining games is always top of my list to not do. Number 1. Barret solo fight in the desert. What is that about? Guard. It's just BS. But guard. Number 2, the Gin attack in chapter 10 was another annoyance. Oh look, forced Barret again. That linked with one of my least favourite characters to play with, and the pooch just made it not fun times. Number 3, the red dragon in chapter 13. Remember that one? Where the dragon plays the floor is lava, that insta-kills you? Kill it quickly or don't kill it at all. ATB Ward Yuffie is all I'm saying. Number 4, chapter 13, just in general, needs very strict MP management due to its length and girth. I feel like I had to mention the girth. Number 5, the final boss. The hardest part again is A, the MP conservation, and B, having to watch those bloody cutscenes between the fights over and over again because you keep dying over and again, over and again, over and over and over again. Thankfully, one of the saving graces is that the fight checkpoints not saved. Let's be very clear about that. They're just checkpoints. If you turn off, gone. You have to start all over again. After all was said and done, I was able to beat all chapters in hard mode. Overall, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be, but I guess that's what I get for doing the Chadley missions first. In case you're wondering, my final game time was around 210 hours. 150 hours to complete my first kind of run and do a review, and 60 hours to platinum. Honestly, now that it's over, I did have a great time, and it was very challenging in a couple of areas, but not as unbearably hard as it's perceived online. It wasn't easy though. Just listing my top 3 order of hardness. Number 1, the final boss on hard. Number 2, the final brutal challenge. And number 3, bloody bonds of friendship. My main advice that I had to give to myself, learn how to block, especially with Cloud. His countering in Punisher mode can quickly increase stagger against some enemies like Odin. Make sure your characters are built. My Kate Sith and Red weren't, and it's something I had to just put a bit of time into when trying to go for the Platinum Trophy. Remember all the challenges. Practice makes perfect. Remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you haven't already, I believe that you'll get that Platinum Trophy one day. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Do you agree with some of the points I've made? Or do you think some things I thought were easy were hard, or vice versa? Do you have the Platinum Trophy? Let me know in the comments. Or are you working towards it, as I'd love to hear how far you've got. If you do like this video, please push the like button and subscribe for more videos of my impressive backlog from the previous videos on the channel. There are some good ones, I promise. But for now, have fun, be good, and Merry Christmas!